funky, y'all.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of On the Squad podcast. Today, we're joined by our usual hosts. That's Ben on the far right, and we have Daniel in the middle, and obviously Tad. So yeah, guys, you know what? I'm just gonna drop the paper right now, and I say this is about to get juicy, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking about villains, like people in our lives, bro. Like, what makes someone evil? What makes someone bad? What makes someone evil, bro?
Jealousy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, jealousy. I feel like in this moment right now, we can actually do a giveaway to like all the Shakespeare fans out there. If you're listening in, make sure you call in right now so that you can be able to win. Hold up, you can win a paperback copy of Othello, and you can win Shakespeare merchandise. If you're a fan, make sure you call in right now. Okay, we're just gonna wait a sec.
Hi, yes, I'm here for the contest. I can list some villainy traits. So we've got powerful, intelligent, manipulating, wounded, condescending, determined, cowardly, racist, blind to the empathy, and devious.
Alright, congratulations to the new winner.
That is it, bro. Like, well done, bro. Sweet. Okay, so we're gonna move on now into Othello because I feel like it connects so well with this whole topic of being a villain. So yeah, what do you guys think about Iago, bro?
I mean, it was so manipulative, man.
Yeah.
To bring that downfall of Othello like that, with his wife bringing down everything that he's built up.
Yeah.
Having that leadership in his army and having Desdemona by his side and just crumbling that, being that manipulative.
Determined.
Yeah.
It's so wrong.
That
Power as well.
Yeah,
Power plays a major part in.
It does. Power, like, there's so much that plays into someone being this villain. So, like, if I can recall, it says that his jealousy for Cassio for obtaining lieutenant, it was obviously what you said, guys, like, jealousy. That's what made him, go on to do all these things, because he also had a history of thinking that Othello had slept with his wife, and that's also part of why he wanted to, get revenge. And revenge is so cold. And just think about it, like Iago, this guy is smart. He's clever. He's not gonna get his hands dirty and stuff like that. He's gonna play the mind game.
To do his dirty work for him. And
that's it, man. So he's gonna play the mind game, and he's gonna try and manipulate whoever he can,
And
so that he
that
can.
determination because of his success and how successful Othello is,
That's
seeing that and that getting jealous of it and wanting that downfall of Othello is his main goal.
Yeah.
That's all he wants.
And obviously, it's like very, very race driven as well. It's quite a racist time. Like, even today, we still see people saying, "Oh no, racism is like gone and stuff." But
But yeah, you still see
There's plenty
cops and
examples
stuff,
of racism
in the US.
US right now, it's like crazy because
Yeah.
you think it's gone, but no, it's the 21st century, but it's still happening. And I read the actual story, the Othello, and it was saying that he thought that Desdemona wouldn't have fallen for Othello, who was black, because of the color of his skin. So possibly, and Iago was like, no, she was bewitched. Like,
Maybe it was his success.
Exactly.
Seeing Othello, how successful he was and everything that he had. Maybe she was driven to that over his race and his color.
yeah. We can also say that, but what it later says that Desdemona was actually in love with Othello, but no one's gonna accept that, especially Desdemona's father. She was like, no, she's not having it. You're gonna marry a man behind my back, and for that fact that it's a black man, and it just makes it like 10 times worse, And it just sucks because it's how the world it kind of is like that. Yeah, it's gotten a bit subtle, at least over the past years, but like there's still many examples of it. I mean, past 1,000 years, that's it.
Years down,
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, obviously, it's it's race driven, and it's very painful because you'll see someone trying to get someone down just because of the color of their skin, and it's like tragic. It's tragic. It is. And
How clever was Iago though to plan everything that he did, and to go out of his way to bring Othello down, the manipulation in
Yeah.
the way that he did it as well.
it's so smart because it's almost as if, you know, those points that the caller said, all of those things drive him. They drive him to do those things. So he's obviously determined, man. He's gonna get to his goal. So he's gonna do it. He's smart. He
Like
knows
nothing.
exactly.
I feel like with him, if he, especially because he was jealous that Cassio that got the lieutenant over him. And
Yeah.
Once he's got something
exactly.
to go to, he's gonna not let anything
He's gonna do it,
get in
bro.
the way, you know.
And those events just like keep on adding on that hate, that jealousy, that everything. So you can see here, it also says that, it's just saying jealous of Othello's jealous because of, Iago is jealous because of Othello's race, and it also goes on to ask the characteristics of what make Iago himself, like personally, a villain, and it says that his background, you know, like does
Is
this
that
villain
unknown or is it known?
exactly is it unknown? It's like
Because there's probably reasons to why it's like that.
Especially these days now,
Yeah,
mental
'cause,
health
like-
plays a massive thing.
And how people become and
Yeah.
what they grow up to be. So maybe Iago was mistreated as a child. He was brought up to think that people like Othello, being of a black race, maybe
Yeah.
they were meant to be treated differently because of that.
As if he's just been pushed to the point of where he's gonna get what he wants no matter what.
that's
Yeah.
His
it.
parents just
His parents saw that he needed to be this thing that Othello was, and Othello was just a man in his way.
yeah, exactly.
That's it. And it also comes back to like what we were looking at in English earlier this year, the hate that you give. So like, and it's saying that no one is born evil, no one is born racist, no one is born like that. You know, it's about thug life. You know, we can also relate that to this. So, you know, the hate you
the
give
background.
little infants, you know, like screws everyone. And it's like that, you know, like the way he was brought up. Background plays a major part in it, and it also says here on my notes, it just really says motivation.
People you're surrounded by as well.
That's it. Oh, influence is a big.
Influence, man.
It's big. It's major. Because he was in the army, and you would imagine what it's like in the army. Because even these days, they're only bringing up those issues about mental health, looking out for each other, for like people in the army and stuff. Those years back, they didn't know anything about like, you know, like PTSD, like post trauma, like something like that. I don't know. I don't know like the whole
this
thing.
guy's issues, like, you know, he's not nothing in particular. He's, you know, he's obviously brain dead, you know, not very smart.
Yeah.
Has issues, you know, they don't really verify or really go into details what those issues are.
That's it.
They can't find that out.
And those times they wouldn't know it's mental health, because they would just think like, this guy is like bewitched, he's crazy, like he needs to be killed. And there was so many big, you know, like consequences as well. Like if you acted differently, if you're a woman, you'd probably like, you know, get slaughtered or killed. Like you can imagine the many different kinds of punishments that took place around that time. But yeah, and I was also told that we need a bit of quotes. I don't know, do you guys have any quotes do you have from the, you know, the play?
We have a few here actually, yeah.
Yeah, we have a few here, man.
Yeah, sweet. That's good. So yeah, what's one that you guys know from the play?
And you wanna
As Iago is Othello's friend, he already has that closeness of being close to Othello and knowing so much about him to be able to find all of his weak points. And because of that, he could use his mentality and his motive to even more so bring him down. Because if Iago didn't know Othello,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot harder for him to get in to the system where Othello, you know, does all these things.
That's
and
it.
Desdemona. So being a friend of Othello, it just allowed him so much more to play out his plan and really go in deep on Othello and bring him down.
Yep.
That's it. And just really quick, you know, what you're saying about being so close to him, it's like he also works with him, like it's in the same workplace, you know, he's in the Othello's team. So like obviously there's like it's like an inside job, you know. Othello probably wouldn't
It's like their
expect
classmates, man.
that's it, you know, like you wouldn't expect that to happen to you.
she did deceive her father marrying you, and obviously that's saying that she had the audacity to lie and keep secrets from her father, and
Yeah.
obviously disapproving of her father's opinions on the guy she's marrying. Obviously that could lead back to basically of your color or your religion.
Yeah, that's what happens till this day.
And,
Christians are wanting to go with Muslims, Muslims are wanting to go with Christians.
Yeah.
And it says using love as a weapon, which is also uses today.
It's using the trust that Othello has in his wife. Iago's using the trust that Othello has in his wife for his own benefit. So making Othello not trust his wife, it's a big deal because they obviously trust each other. She married him. Everyone says
it doesn't
they
say how long
happen.
they've been together, but you can understand how close they are.
Yeah.
You can understand their relationship.
That's it, and it's so good because he's smart about it. Once you get Othello to not trust his wife, then it obviously creates this whole new path, which could lead to something really good.
For Iago, anyway.
Yeah, for Iago's benefit, And and then the last quote that I just picked up, it says, "Strangle her in her bed, even the bed that she hath contaminated."
Yeah.
Oh my, dude. Iago is putting this seed once again that
He really
Desdemona is sleeping with someone else. Yeah, it's putting that thought.
They said and played with him.
That's it, and it's like whoa,
This guy had guts, and this guy was obviously cunning when it came to this, and he really understood how to do this and play it out properly, and he really planned it. You can see even in the strangling, he saw it all coming. He saw Othello's rage and anger that this guy was sleeping with his wife, and he really just wanted to end it all.
Yeah. And he built it up so subtly as well. He built it up so slow and so perfect into, leading to the end where Othello, he then kills his wife, because he then believes all this stuff because of the strawberry, handkerchief that Emilia took from Desdemona, and she planted in Cassio's bed, and then Othello found it there. And then Othello was like, nah, this is something that's really close to my wife, and to find it in someone else's bed, Iago has to be telling the truth. They called him Honest Iago because he's so cunning. It's like he's telling the truth in the words he says, but he's really not. But either way, it's all good because Othello ends up killing his wife, and then he can't handle the deception and everything that's going on. He can't process it, and then he ends up killing himself, and then. Yeah, and
you got nothing to live for at that point.
Exactly.
You lose your wife, you lose your position, you lose your dignity.
Yeah.
Your whole purpose is just gone, and you just look at yourself
it just feels
I'm a
like
failure.
Especially the fact it's a handkerchief, because back in the day females tucked it under their bra strap, so it's obviously very close to them, and for another boy to have that would definitely trigger.
Yeah, it would.
Heaps of rage for the.
It's really serious, man.
This whole manipulation, this whole racist sort of remarks, these jealousy.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of this happens. We discussed it earlier with the racist remarks, the mind games, the manipulation. People still do it to a certain degree.
Especially in professional athletes, obviously, they need a very strong mindset to perform at the high level they do.
Yeah, and when they
can't. But when they come to racism.
Exactly.
There's been examples of them just breaking down and.
True. Even the English Premier League, English Premier League is obviously the highest level of soccer in England. It's a pretty big deal. They're actually they recently started launching a campaign. It says no room for racism. Every game they put a banner out in the stadium, and then it says no room for racism. We're gonna drive racism out. We're gonna kick it until there's no more racism. And it's steps to it, but it's obviously it's a long way, man. It's a long way to go.
There'll still be some sort of racism.
They will.
No matter what.
There always will be, but making it
as time goes on, though, as we can see over the past few hundred years, people have progressively gotten better with the racism, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The manipulation will never stop, though. I think everyone will always be looking at someone like they're higher and wanting to get that and take that shortcut to get there. Instead of really building their own legacy, they'll cut in. And because they're so jealous, they'll bring the other person down just so they can reach that point.
That's it.
It's just so wrong.
All just ties up into the knot of the hate that you give. But this has been another episode of the On The Spot podcast with Ben, Daniel, and I.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Cool.